Anthony can tell you that normally I just speak from the hip, but on this occasion I wanted to share this. For Lent this year, Teresa and I decided to give up sweets. And then Teresa said, "Can we pray every day?" And I said, "Oh, I would love to do that." And that started something that continues to this day. We pray with each other every single day. And that was an amazing bonding for us, was the prayer, even as Anthony said earlier. Around that time, I was awakened at 5 a.m. with a clear impression from God that I was to share with you. This is a portion of that conversation that represents the foundation of our relationship and what drew us together. So I wrote, 5 in the morning, "I wanted to share a thought I had when I woke up this morning. I honor and completely respect that your relationship with Jesus is the most important thing in your life. God is also first in my life and always will be. Jesus must be first priority in our affection, in our worship, in our loyalty, and in how we choose to live our lives. I would rather live the rest of my life alone than to be with someone who is not completely sold out to Jesus. I will always yield to God's first place in your life. I greatly admire your love for him. Your devotion is an example and an inspiration to me. Your love for him and how it plays out in your life makes me want to serve him more faithfully. Thank you for being such a wonderful and beautiful reflection of his love to me. I see him in you." And then I finished with what we always say to each other, and that is, "You've been prayed for." And then Teresa responded, "Good morning," no G, 2 exclamation points, which is pretty typical. "Regarding your morning thoughts," she said, "once again, I marvel at the goodness of our Father. I woke up at 2:30 a.m. as wide awake as one can be, but didn't want to get out of bed. I fought it for a while, and then relinquished to the fact that I just needed to talk with Jesus. So I did. We spoke about what your message to me is this morning. When I sensed our relationship was going slightly different and deeper than a teacher-student, I began praying that if you were not a gift of God meant for me, that God would thwart it from going any deeper, that he would send a cuter, closer someone for you that would gain your attention, for I didn't want anything bad to happen to either of us. I made that commitment to him in 2020, and I have no intentions of ever turning again. Even in experiencing such loss, I was never tempted to doubt his love for me. I am amazed that God sent you my way in the fashion he did. To me, it is just another validation of his power and goodness. Yes, he will always be my first love, and of course that is my desire for you too. But when a relationship is built on that, then all the other things will be added." There are some remarkable things that have happened along the way, a lot of just amazing confirmations. But right after I was here in May, I went back and we were both a little bit discouraged because I didn't have a job here. And yet we felt the Lord calling us together. And out of the blue, I got a phone call from a 93-year-old fellow writer. Her name is Louise. And she left a voicemail on my answering machine or on my phone. And she said, "Craig, I don't know whether you remember me or not. This is Louise Looney. But I have had a strong urge that I am supposed to call you and tell you that I am praying and that whatever you are contemplating, you're supposed to go full speed ahead. I don't know whether this will apply or not, but if it does, Lord bless, love you." And God has done that again and again and again. And Teresa, in the midst of some of the difficult days and moments in your grief journey, you may remember that I shared the words of Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings. And he said this, Folks, he was talking to Frodo, and he said, folks in those stories had lots of chances of turning back, only they didn't. They kept going because they were holding on to something. Frodo asked, what are we holding on to, Sam? Sam says that there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. I wrote to you in the midst of your grief, and I reiterate it now as we are surrounded by family and friends. Many people are standing beside you and fighting with you, Teressa. There is much that is good in this world, and much that is tragic and wrong. But the good is a gift from Abba, and it is worth fighting for. And I will always be your Samwise Gamgee. And as he said to Frodo, I say to you, I may not be able to carry the ring, the burden of your pain, loss, and grief, but I can carry you, and we can carry each other.
Beautiful words that were spoken and shared with one another. And so now we will proceed with the vows. So I speak loud enough, so it's important we hear from them, right?